Welcome into the Michigan Football Report. We've got a big-time rumors roundup heading into Saturday night's game against Minnesota. Before we get into the show, want to see how you guys are feeling. Go below in the comments. Predict the score. Number 18, Michigan at number 21, Minnesota. Primetime, Saturday night, ABC. Just a note, we all want to be optimists. Jim Harbaugh 1-7 on the road versus ranked teams as Michigan's head coach. And the craziest stat you might ever hear, Michigan is 1-20 against ranked teams on the road since they beat Notre Dame, number 2 Notre Dame, in 2006. So that is a big-time thing to overcome for this program. Potentially could change the tide of Michigan's future with Jim Harbaugh as a coach. Go predict in the comment. I'm going to Venmo $25 to the first person who correctly predicts the score. Don't edit your comment after the game, and make sure you say which team. Don't say UM. That could be Minnesota. That could be Michigan. Make sure you say Michigan or Minnesota. Predict the score down in the comments. Let's get into our rumors roundup right now. Nico Collins officially off the Michigan roster, and he talked to Adam Schefter, of all people, about his decision to leave Michigan. And I'm putting this one up there as for Harbaugh heads. Did he make a bad decision to opt out of this season? My answer is yes. For Harbaugh heads, F-A-C-K, fact. Let's take a look at what Nico Collins told Adam Schefter. One of the key quotes I saw was, they were saying in the spring, and he's talking here about when the season would come back. They were saying in the spring, Thanksgiving, there would be too many unknown questions to be answering. Nobody really had an answer. I sat down with my family. I just made a business decision. Now, Nico Collins is projected by some people, not Chat Sports' Tom Downey, that's for sure, but by at least Todd McShay to be a first-round draft pick in the upcoming NFL draft. He returned after Donovan Peoples-Jones left for the NFL. Tariq Black opted out to transfer to Texas. He returned to be the man on Michigan's offense, and he was poised to do that. And Josh Gattis seemed to be a big-time fan of his. He opted out when the season was originally canceled and stayed in school, okay? He stayed in school, but he's doing it online. He traveled down to Florida. He's training with Drew Rosenhaus, the famous agent, is his agent. I think bad advice given to Nico Collins, even if he's only playing in 8 games and 9 with the championship week and then potentially a bowl game. I think it is what he needed, and I think Josh Gattis was dedicated enough to show him what he could be in this offense in year 2 under Gattis, that it would have been better for his draft stock. He put up 80 to 90 yards a game as the man, and maybe, I don't know, in the 9 games, maybe put up 7, 8 touchdowns potentially. I don't know. That would have been a lot better. That would have secured his draft spot. If you look around college football, Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith, Clemson's wide receivers, Ohio State's wide receivers, there's no way if Nico Collins sits out, which he is, he's going to be a first-round draft pick. So I think it was a bad business decision, in my opinion, to not come back. But I want to know from you guys, did Nico Collins make the right decision? Go down in the comments, type Y for yes if you think I agree with him, made the right decision. Type N for no. As Jim Harbaugh has always said, which I believe in sports and all aspects of life, is you get better at football by playing football. You get better at doing videos like this by doing more videos. You certainly don't get it, better at videos by lifting weights. I don't think Nico Collins will get any better at playing football by lifting weights and running sprints, but that's my opinion. Filming from my in-laws' house in Youngstown, Ohio. Been a little quiet on the internet the last few days. Want to take this moment just to honor my mother-in-law, my wife's mother, Debbie Saroka, passed away on Monday. Very sudden, and certainly been weighing on the family all week. Want to tell her, rest in peace, Debbie. She is a great mother, great grandmother, my son, and in some ways is responsible for this show. If she didn't raise such a great daughter who was willing to support me as I started Chat Sports, and we've got 14 YouTube channels now, not just this Michigan Football Report one, maybe this company doesn't exist. Maybe you wouldn't be watching this video. So rest in peace to Debbie. I'll be with her until her funeral on Monday. I'll be in Youngstown, Ohio, but did want to pay her respects as I'm filming this from her house. So rest in peace to Debbie Saroka, my mother-in-law. Thanks to you guys, though, for subscribing to the channel. I told you we had a goal in front of us to get to 8,000 subscribers before the season started, and we hit it a few days ago. We hit it end of last week, well before Michigan kickoff. So keep it going. If you're the first time watching this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, in the past or whatever it is, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that big red subscribe button. We're going to be putting out videos all season long. And for enough of you subscribe, and I'm trying to get to 7 days a week. We're about 4 or 5 days a week over the last month and a half. So subscribe to the channel, Michigan Football Report on YouTube. Next up, Gemon Green. Is he the starting cornerback? You're like, who? Gemon Green? I've never even heard of that guy. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. I didn't project him as a starter. I've got this one as 2 Harbaugh heads. There is a lot of whisper out there on the internet. Jim Harbaugh's talked about him. Don Brown's talked about him. Gemon Green out of the state of Texas, right? Out just south of Dallas, Texas. I actually was on a plane with his parents about 4 or 5 times last year. I live in Dallas, Texas. Flying up from Texas to Detroit Friday night on a Spirit flight. They're like $50 one-way flights the Friday before games. His parents were on there. He is making a lot of noise as potentially Michigan's starting cornerback outside of Vincent Gray. So I'm giving this one 2 Harbaugh heads. I think that you will see Gemon Green on the field with the starting defense, whether it's as the second cornerback, potentially a nickelback. And if he plays well, he's got right of first refusal to be the second starting cornerback for the Wolverines. So keep an eye out for Gemon Green. It's not a guy who's made really an impact at all from a football perspective for the University of Michigan. But if he gets in the game and he plays well, he could be the surprise starter on this defense that really has 10 of the 11 positions are pretty solidified. Defensive line, linebackers, and the secondary. Only really position we don't know about yet is that second quarterback. So keep an eye out for Gemon Green, giving it 2 Harbaugh heads. With Michigan traveling on the road in an away game, I want to get you guys' opinion because I personally am sick of the white uniforms. I don't like them. I don't think they say Michigan in any way. They don't feel like Michigan. I know Jim Harbaugh liked them because they wore them for a season when he was a kid and his dad was a coach. Which uniforms do you like better? Which pants, I should say? Michigan wears the white jerseys on the road. Do you like the all whites they've been wearing since 2015, or do you like the white jerseys with the maize pants that Michigan's really worn my entire life and started to go away from in 2015? I think they only wore maize pants on the road one time with Jim Harbaugh as the coach, was the 2017 Penn State game when they got absolutely whacked. So type white for white pants, type white for white pants, type maize for maize pants. I want to know what you guys think. I am Team Maize. Remind you guys one more time to go ahead, down in the comments. I'm going to pin this right below the video as the official top comment on this one. So reply to that. Who's going to win the game? Predict the score. Make sure you tell me which team and the score. The first person to correctly predict the score, I will message you, get your Venmo. We'll Venmo you $25 after the game. So do not forget it. Going to pin this one. You might get hit with a YouTube ad break. Go down while the ad's playing. Type your prediction. Scroll back up. Ad should be over. Michigan is a 3-point favorite on the road against Minnesota on Saturday. This has swung big time because they opened up on Bet Online last week, before the early line as a 1, sometimes I even saw 1.5 point underdog. The people who know about these things have hammered Minnesota pretty heavily. If you watch our mailbag that's coming out tomorrow, a lot of rumors that Minnesota might be missing a few key players, potentially on the offensive line. So keep an eye out for that video coming tomorrow. But Michigan at Minnesota, the Wolverines are a 3-point favorite. If you go down and if you predicted Michigan's going to win by 7, by 20, by 15, whatever it is, if it's more than 3 and you want to put some money on Michigan and get rewarded, use our betting partner, BetUS. Go to chatsports.com/GoBlue. It'll drop you on the page with BetUS to sign up. Use promo code when you deposit, GoBlue. You get 125% deposit bonus. So say you put $100, an extra $125 sitting there in your deposit in your account to bet with. If you do it before kickoff Saturday and you email me, goblue@chatsports.com. We will get your information, confirm it, and send you a Michigan Jordan brand jersey. Not one of these cheap Walmart ones, the ones that sell on Nike's website in the M-Den for over $100. We will send it to you from Chat Sports to you guys. Don't harass BetUS for it or anything like that. Make sure you email us once you sign up and deposit. And don't just type in BetUS into your browser. Use that URL, chatsports.com/GoBlue, so it shows up on our dashboard. Make it super simple to get your information from you and send you one of these free jerseys. If you're watching the game on Saturday, like I will be, make sure to follow me on Twitter @James Yoder. I'm probably going to do a halftime video, give you my thoughts. I'll be tweeting throughout the game. And when there's a great play by Michigan and maybe a great play by Minnesota, we'll see what happens. I will be posting the best plays throughout the game on my Twitter account at James Yoder. So go ahead and follow me. It's free. I make a lot of jokes on Twitter. So if you like to laugh and you like to get informed on Michigan football, I'm the guy for you at James Yoder. Go give me a follow right now. I'll put a link for it down in the comments as well. Last rumor on today's show is Michigan's base offensive set, a 4 wide receiver set. I am giving this one 3 Harbaugh heads. I really think that Michigan is going to be a 4 wide receiver set 50% or more of the time, and probably it'll be the base set that come out within the first drive. Now, what does that mean? I think sometimes Nick Eubanks will potentially be a wide receiver, be split out like one. He won't be up against the line like a true tight end will be, but you're going to see a lot of these 4 guys on the screen at once. My 4 starting wide receivers: Ronnie Bell, Cornelius Johnson on the outside, Mike Sainristil, Giles Jackson on the inside. Kind of in those slot, potentially hybrid roles. You might see those guys doing that orbit motion where they go behind the quarterback. You might see those guys getting some handoffs or a little bit of screen game. But these are the 4 guys I expect to be on the field a ton, kind of de-emphasizing the tight end role for Michigan, obviously, and de-emphasizing the fullback role that has been de-emphasized over the last few years with Jim Harbaugh. But predict for me who has the most receiving yards versus Minnesota for the Wolverines. Type RB if it's going to be Ronnie Bell. Type MS if you think it's going to be Mike Sainristil. GJ if it's Giles Jackson, or the newcomer, the guy you haven't seen a ton of, Cornelius Johnson. So go on, type below. I'm asking you guys to comment. I like to do an interactive show. I want to see what you guys feel. You guys are so kind to ask what I think on these things. I ask what you guys think, and really it influences how I think about this football program. Sometimes is what the fans think. You guys have a really great perspective. So go down and answer. That is today's show. Once again, I want to tell my mother-in-law Debbie, rest in peace. We'll all be miss you, and if you guys have it, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And if you want to see Michigan's offensive or defensive depth chart that we had earlier in the week going into this week's game, I got that video for you right here and right here. Michigan, Minnesota, 7:30 Saturday night. Go Blue.